Sean and JJ coming to you guys with another video. It's been a little while since our last video. We didn't do any summer wrestling as far as tournament wise. JJ just kind of took the summer off as far as the tournament circuit goes. So our last video was the US Open in April, and that was his last tournament. But since then, we've been training. We moved to a new home out here in Castle Rock, Colorado. And that's actually where we're coming to you live in our garage here. So our first video here is going to be the Preseason Nationals. It was kind of our first major one. JJ did wrestle in the Rocky Mountain National Cosmic Clash tournament out here in Colorado. Was the first tournament we did. And he won that tournament. Only wrestled in one bracket there. But our first major one was the Preseason Nationals. Going in, we had some high hopes. You know, I thought JJ's chances of being top 3 were really good. From what we looked at the wrestlers list and who was registered, we were happy to wrestle some of the guys that were in there. So day one, we'll talk about day one. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit different of a video, a little bit less showing all the wrestling and kind of more explaining what's going on. Obviously, by the title, you can see that JJ was disqualified from the tournament, and so we got sent home early. But day one went pretty well. He started his first match and won 12-1. Was wrestling really well. Or no, excuse me. Teched him. 17-1. Excuse me. 17-1. JJ tech falled him. Looked really good. Chain wrestled really well. Put everything together. Looked really solid. Second match. Now this is where stuff started really falling apart. And no fault to USA Wrestling. This is kind of more a track wrestling issue. Track wrestling's servers went down, causing the entire tournament to be delayed. Anybody that went to the tournament knows, like, it was really crappy. So JJ, I think we started wrestling at 2:30. JJ's first match was like around 4 p.m. and then he didn't wrestle again until 10 o'clock at night. So he had like a 6-hour gap from his first match to his second match. One of the other things I didn't really care for was the way that they seed the USA brackets. Seeding was really kind of weird. You know, out of everybody that was in our bracket, I would like to say the good portion of the elite wrestlers that we knew from all the years that we've been wrestling were all on the bottom side, and we had 1 or 2 kids up at the top that were really solid. So kind of crammed us all on the bottom side, which is whatever. Like I tell JJ, we don't really worry about the seeding too much, but you know, he ended up his second match having a really tough match against a good friend from Oklahoma, and the match went to ultimate overtime, and JJ ended up losing. There's a couple things there, you know, that we can't leave up in the ref's hands. You know, there's some stuff that we felt could have been called a little bit differently. JJ did leave 2 takedowns on the board that we should have had. That was 6 points. That he left on the board that we really wish we could have got back. But nonetheless, it was a really good match, super exciting. And even though we took the L in that one, it was a good match, you know, for JJ to have. Day 2 comes around, we have to be right back in there. They actually started the tournament early on day 2 to try to make up ground for the 6-hour delay that we had of day 1. Day 2 comes along, and JJ comes out of the gate wrestling really well. Wins his first match, I think, 9-0. 9-0. Then he wrestles his second match and wins 8-0. And then we get into the third match. Now, this third match is you win that match and you're going to place no matter what. So we were coming up the backside. JJ was looking good. We had not surrendered a point all day in the second day. And so JJ's winning this match 12-0 in the third period. JJ had this kid stuck probably about 20 seconds into the first period. We didn't get the fall call, but you know, JJ was already up. I want to say like 9-0 or no
6-0.
6-0 in the first period.
No, 7-0 because they count 4 back ones.
Yeah, 7-0. Sorry guys, 7-0 in the first period. So late in the third period, the match breaks. I don't really recall if we went out of bounds or what. We got reset. When we got reset, there was 10 seconds left on the board. JJ's winning 12-0 again. Okay, the kid from Indiana was never in the match. I'm not going to name him by name, but he was never in the match. So we're up 12-0, and and you guys are gonna see the video. You've already saw the caption, but you're gonna see the video. I'm gonna replay it now.
Oh, you guys saw it on.
You see the kid right out the gate, he tries to hit a Grammy roll, but he doesn't clear the leg. When he hits the Grammy roll, JJ stuffs it. JJ and them kind of flip up on their head, and JJ stuffs it. As he stuffs it, you'll see the kid's left elbow come across JJ's face, and he elbows JJ in the face from his back. After he elbowed him in the face, the kid hits him with two hands to the face after that, as he's trying to roll to his stomach. Now, most of us that have been in wrestling understand that when kids get put on their back, they start panicking, and hands to the face oftentimes is pretty common, but 3 shots to the face kind of set JJ off. And as the kid valleyed out, JJ hit him with a very rough crossface.
Was it illegal? Was it cocking back?
It was pretty stern, bro. It was a stern crossface. I'll be completely honest with you. I like JJ wrestling aggressive, and I'm never going to take that away from him. But JJ hits him with the crossface. The referee stops the match, which at that time there's probably 3 seconds left in the third period, and hits JJ with the misconduct. So he hits him with the misconduct, but this is where the video gets crazy. And the referee stops the match and starts running recovery time. But if you notice, the kid was never injured. He was never hurt. He was not bleeding, and he popped right up to his feet. Him and JJ kind of had a brief interaction where I was like praying to myself that nothing would happen there. And the kid gets back down into his base to wrestle. The referee pulls him out of his base, runs recovery, starts running recovery time, and goes and has a meeting with their coaches, explaining what's about to take place. Mind you, we don't know what's going on. I've never been faced with this before as a dad or a coach, and I actually was not even coaching JJ in this match. His coaches were coaching him. So, long story short, you'll see in the video also, the kid's coach is about maybe halfway through the recovery period. They walk him to the head table, to pretend to wipe blood from his face. There was never no blood there. There was a bunch of people that were not related on with our team, and all of us were standing right next to the table. So he takes a paper towel and puts it up against his mouth and starts wiping the blood or supposed blood away. And as soon as he wipes it away, you look and there's no blood on the napkin. So he right away folds it up and does it again. And you could hear people that weren't even associated with our team telling him, there's no blood on that napkin. So anyway, the misconduct time runs out. JJ shakes hands and they award the kid the victory and basically disqualifying JJ from the tournament and sent him home. This was beyond frustrating. I never have seen anything like that. I've heard of things like that. I know of people getting picked up and slammed and acting like they're hurt to move on to the next round, but I'd never seen anything like that where the referee stopped officiating the match and dictated the winner and loser of the match. And he directly dictated whether JJ won or lost. And it wasn't even the kid. You know, we drove to this tournament. So driving home, I had a 10-hour drive home. I had a lot of time to discuss this with JJ and what he did wrong or what he could have did better as far as understanding the timing. You know, the timing, even though he took 3 shots to the face and that's what set him off, he should have just held back and won the match and moved on. JJ should not have hit that kid with the crossface at that time with such short time left in the third period. So we understand what he could have did better. And that's honestly the only thing we could take from this situation is what we could control and what we could do better next time. But I just have never seen a ref completely dictate the winner and loser of a match that way, where the kid was not injured, hurt, or bleeding, and he's calling for recovery time that the wrestler was not calling for himself, and then was perfectly fine with DQing JJ with 3 seconds to go in the third period, winning 12-0. What made it even more frustrating is that the coaches for the opposing kid went along with it. Like, how, you know, and even though I'm not going to name the kid, I'm going to put that out there. That Midwest Extreme Wrestling, I would be embarrassed if I was a part of their organization, if I was a part of their coaching staff. For them to accept a win like that, they could not have walked around the rest of the tournament with their head held high, like they had won the match. You know, what was the most frustrating thing after that match was what was the purpose in sending JJ home so you could win that match for the kid just to turn around and get blown out 14-0 the next match,
and then get stuck the next match,
and then gets pinned for 7th and 8th. He took 4. If you count JJ's loss, he took 4 losses in the tournament and took 8th place. And you know, when I had the discussion, and it was a heated discussion after the match with their coaching staff, they were happy that they sent JJ home, you know, in that way. And hey, if that's the way that you guys want to win and that's the way you're going to teach your kids to win, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. I know a lot of people that grew up wrestling around us that do not agree with winning that way. I'm never going to allow my son to take a win he did not earn. And that's flat out how it's going to be. And I don't care who JJ is wrestling. If he does not earn that win, he's not taking that win. You know, and I've coached several kids that are teammates of JJ's, especially last year. We were in Kansas. 2 of his teammates back to back. They both were in the semifinals. Both illegally got slammed on their heads. And I did not allow them to take that DQ win there. Because I'm built that way. I would not allow my son to do it. I'm not going to allow them to do it. And they actually went on to lose. Both of them lost that semifinal match, you know. Unfortunately, both the kids that were wrestling were just better than them, you know. But I wasn't going to let them take that win. So like I said, that was super frustrating. We drove home. We talked about it. We've had many discussions together with our family and with him, talking about some of the things that we could have did differently. Even me, as an example, as a father, I'm very passionate. Many of you that do know me know that I'm passionate. I'm probably a lot like you guys. We all want our kids to win. We all expect our kids, our boys, our daughters to perform certain ways, especially when we know them inside and out. And after the match, I kind of broke my character by approaching their coaching staff and just, you know, letting them know that I thought that was a coward way to win, and voicing the fact of what are you really teaching that kid by allowing him to win that match by not wrestling. But even driving home, the 10 hours driving home, as mad as I was, I realized it wasn't that kid's fault. So to that wrestler, if I made him feel a certain way, I apologize on my behalf of making him feel that way. But he actually, I give him credit because he popped right up and he went right back to his base, ready to wrestle and finish the match. So I do not put any of the blame of what happened or transpired from that moment on him. This was directly on his coaches
and the ref,
and more so the referee. And just to let you guys know, as soon as I came home, I took the video that I posted right here on YouTube and I sent it to the director of USA Wrestling explaining what happened. And I got a message back from USA Wrestling stating the fact that they actually believe and agree with what we said and how we saw the match. They were in shock and disbelief that this referee did what he did. They sent it to their head referee for review. I got a message last week stating that the head referee, and what his response was basically that the referee that was reffing JJ's match was a referee that reffed USA Preseason Nationals off of a reference. He came on board to referee as a reference from another person, and that they are going to review that video with him. And even so the funny thing too is they didn't have the full video on Flow, which out of almost all of JJ's matches for that weekend, the only one that was not recorded on Flow Wrestling was that video.
And
so they said without that video and seeing if JJ had been warned beforehand, that could have changed things. Although what he said is it really does not matter if JJ was warned or even hit with the technical violation, which he wasn't before that moment, that still was not grounds for a disqualification. That still was not grounds for the referee to dictate when a wrestler needed recovery time or not. And so that was the biggest thing that we got out of it. And at least we know we can't change that match. And I can't, and like I tried to explain to them, I'm not trying to go back and change that match, but I really want to understand why that referee dictated who won and lost that match. You know, it's hard to tell a 12-year-old kid who's trained all summer for that moment to run that backside back and to come and get his revenge from taking that ultimate overtime loss in day one and finishing out the next possible position, which would have been third place, that you got sent home for disqualification, you know. Anyway, like I said, we learned some lessons here, and we're going to continue to build upon them, and we're going to continue to train hard and wrestle hard, and we're not going to change anything about our style and about the way that I teach or coach JJ or mentor him to wrestle. He's going to wrestle hard for every minute, every second that he's in there. He's never going to give up, and he's going to be physical. And and that's where we're going to go from there. So we bounced back the following weekend. JJ, we're about to post a video. JJ entered Monster Match Nationals. We'll be posting the video later on this week, but you'll see he came back. We double bracketed there.
12U70 and 12U74.
JJ won both brackets there, and we're going to just continue building upon. We're going to continue to build upon that momentum and carry it into Tulsa Kickoff, and that's our next big one we're going to do. But anyway, we want to post this video to help bring awareness to situations that occur, good and bad ones. You know, like I tell JJ, we can't always post the good things that happen to you. We can't always post you winning, or you got to post the losses. You got to post the setbacks, and that for that moment, that was a little setback for us and for JJ. So, but like I told him, it's not going to define who he is as a wrestler, as a person, and we got right back to work as soon as we got home. So, like I said, thank you guys for watching. Most of you guys that follow us, we've had a bunch of people this last couple of tournaments come up and introduce themselves and say they follow us on social media. And that's another thing. Please follow JJ on social media. He's on Instagram. He's not on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He's also on TikTok. Be sure to follow him. You know, we also have our Bracket Bullies apparel that we've been doing for quite a while now. You'll see a lot of JJ singlets that he's wearing at these tournaments, custom ones and whatnot. Those are all from our company, Bracket Bullies. So be sure to follow us on Instagram there as well. But thank you guys for following us and subscribing and showing love to us when we see you guys at the tournaments. So once again, we're going to post this video here. Give us a comment. Let us know what you guys think
about this DQ.
We had a lot of feedback on our social media about how they thought it was a crappy call and whatnot. But love to hear your guys' feedback and thoughts on the matter and stuff. Anyway, so be sure to be on the lookout for this video, and then for our monster match
2024
coming up, and then we got Tulsa kickoff coming next week. So we're training hard and getting ready for that one. So thank you guys for following us, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.